Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Nowofsky. Today's discussion, your network is your superpower. So Shiri, before we went to break, we were talking about how to start a conversation with someone you admire. And you said that you had a story that you wanted to share.
Absolutely. So, if anyone is familiar with the book The Go-Giver, which is an incredible book, and I highly recommend it, Bob Berg, one of the authors, I wanted to reach out to him so badly because not only was I impressed by the book, and I had read it 3 times, but the more I read about Bob Berg and the more I saw him on LinkedIn, because he's very active on LinkedIn, I really felt that connection with him. And there's those moments where when I'm going to reach out to someone who's kind of famous, people know him, he's written a book, a bestseller. Will he even care? Because that's usually what we say. Will he even care? Why would he talk to me? Right? That's the voice in our head.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to reach out to him anyways. And what I did is I was very authentic, first of all, and I really complimented him on his book. And I told him the reason I wanted to connect with him because he's a great speaker. And as an aspiring speaker, as I was, I really wanted to get a lot of tips from him. Little do you know that he not only accepted my connection, he replied back to me saying, I am free to talk now. Here's my phone number. Call me. So, the lesson, reach out to people you admire, be authentic, tell them exactly why you admire them and what do you want to learn from them? What do you want to get from them? And let me tell you, they will respond. They might not respond right away, but they will respond because successful people and great people, they actually want to help, believe it or not.
You know what? And I love the fact that you brought that up because I speak a lot. I meet a lot of people. That's how you and I met. We both spoke at the same event. And you reached out, we chatted, and here we are doing the show. And I think it's really important for people to think, you don't need courage to reach out. You just need some good questions so that you can connect with the person and keep the ball rolling. And I want to get to the next question now. Like, what are some ways to stay memorable after meeting someone?
Awesome. It is all about the follow up. We've probably heard this a million times. The money is in the follow up, right? The connection, the opportunity is in the follow up. People sometimes think that networking is exactly like dating, which is there are a lot of similarities to dating. But one thing that is very different is you do not wait to follow up. You follow up right away. Because think about it, if you've left a great impression on the person, you want to make sure that they continue with that thought in their minds, that you continue to be memorable. So the follow up needs to happen right away. And following up doesn't mean that you're going to bother them. It means that you're simply continuing the conversation that you started with them. So make sure that you follow up. Now, in order to follow up, you have to make sure that when you connected with that person and you had a conversation with them, that you got their contact information. Very, very important. And here's one tip. Make sure that you take their contact information, not just give it, but take it, because then you have full control over the fact that you can actually continue the conversation rather than on a date, just sitting back and waiting for the guy to call you.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling ever. Is he going to
Ever.
call? Is he not going to call? What's happening? And yeah, you feel
Yeah.
helpless. So now let's still talk about the follow up. How do you follow up without feeling annoying or simply desperate?
Right. If you did a good job during the conversation, because here's what you need to remember, it is all about how you made that person feel. And that's what they're going to remember. If they remember that you made them feel great, that you wanted to really truly build a relationship with them, that you wanted to help, that you were very curious about them, that you were generous, then any follow up after that will never feel like you're bothering them. Never, ever. But rather, if you form that friendship, right? Because by the way, you can really form a friendship in a matter of minutes. And I
Mhm.
think, Elizabeth, you and I connected right away.
We did.
Yes, we felt very comfortable with one another. So then the door is open for that follow up. And you, if you did it right, you will never, ever um, make that person feel like you are bothering them, but rather they'll be so grateful that you're following up with them.
And the key too is, yeah, you and I clicked, we met, we clicked. I feel comfortable where if I have a question or whatever, I know I can send you an email or say, I need 5 minutes of your time. And you know that you could do the same thing with me. And I think that's really important as well. When you meet people and you click, you know that you have a friend for life. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more networking.